Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Deadly Nutter Butter Podcast. And as of recording, happy May the 4th be with you, or whatever they call it. Yes, it is May 4th as of recording this episode, so I guess happy Star Wars Day, if you want to call it this day, a Star Wars Day, which it is, of course, because fun words and stuff, and Revenge of the Sixth, or whatever they call it now. It never ends. There's plenty of wordplay going on here for Star Wars, but, you know, damn. It's a good day. It's a good day. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Haven't watched them since Rise of the Skywalker because, shit, I did a whole fucking review on that. I'm not going to go into it a whole lot, but, yeah. Rise of Skywalker, not the play. Kind of, oh, man, okay, whatever. We won't get into it. But I am expecting a package today. I ordered a new SSD drive. Not because the one I have now failed, not at all. But I do want to get more into making game-related videos from, what is that? For YouTube, not for YouTube. Because I really like doing that Division build video. It's just kind of like showing off what a lot of other people have already done. But the problem with me doing it is my poor hard drive. My poor actual hard drive. It's not an SSD drive. I do have an M.2. It's a boot drive, but I use that for a boot drive only, and whatever temporary files find their way into it, and whatever. That's what it's there for. That's all it's there for. So I had to write actual video to the drive, which I can definitely handle it. I'm not afraid of it dying, but for some reason I am paranoid that overusing it like an actual writable disk is it's too much. It might be too much. So I bought a cheap version, or like a cheap SSD. It's a Samsung 500 gigabyte SSD, and hopefully it'll be good enough, because I was recording directly to the hard drive that I have two of them, and it was skipping a lot of frames. And it was very choppy, and I tried messing with the settings, both CPU speed and everything, and nope, wasn't having it at all. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try writing to the SSD, to the M.2 drive, because for work we have a recording monitor, but we can't use the small passport hard drives. We have to use SSD drives. So I was like, you know what? This is probably the problem. It's not my hard drive. Well, it's not my computer. It's not any of the settings in OBS. It's probably the hard drive that can't keep up with the amount of data that's trying to be written to it at once. So I went out and just bought a SSD, and oh wait, no. I tried recording to the M.2, and it worked out flawlessly. No frame skips, no choppiness. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. I did record in a stupid manner, very stupid. It was in, what was that? Lossless. Very, very uncompressed footage, very large file at the end of it. I don't know if I'll keep doing lossless or not. I didn't notice it. Obviously there's a benefit to doing that, in the sense that you're taking it Premiere, and it's not a problem scrubbing through. Not a problem scrubbing through that file, because it's uncompressed. There's no compression. It's free reign. So I think at the end, I think every minute is a gig. So if you do 60 minutes of just recording and getting B-roll with whatever narration you're wanting to do, it stacks up pretty fucking quick. It stacks up a lot. And that's the same way with our recording monitor at work, and that's a lot worse because we use 4K, so it's double. It's obviously double than 1080, and it stacks up so quick. And most of the time, if we do an interview, man, we are at 100 gigs for an interview, which is insane. I think one week we went up to one project that lasted several weeks finally took over a terabyte of storage space just in raw footage, not even editing, no graphics, nothing, just pure raw footage. Was a terabyte, and that's too much, man. That is way too much. So I'm going to try to avoid that with my setup. I have a 6 terabyte hard drive and a 4 terabyte hard drive from an older system that I had, and I don't want to run out of that space. I don't want to run out of that space at all. So I'll probably end up doing like a workflow way would be to record, use it, and then if I need to go back to that footage, I will obviously compress it down to something more reasonable size, something better than a fucking 100 gigabyte file. No one needs that. No one needs that, but it is so much easier to work with in Premiere. Because if you ever worked in Premiere, which maybe you have, maybe you haven't, regular footage like H.264, not the play. Not the play. It works. You'll scrub through it, but your system does not like going through that footage quickly. And it chokes up. Hell, even my system chokes up on it. And I wouldn't say it's like the top tier end of consumer products, but it's definitely up there. But you know, like I would not suggest anyone else really do lossless unless you have the space. Unless you really need to scrub through your footage quickly and rapidly, then maybe there's a case for it. But other than that, you really shouldn't. I probably won't be doing lossless after today. It just doesn't make sense. I'll probably get something close to it, compress it down a little bit to save a little bit of space. I don't want to like chew up a lot of space with this little side gig thing, but it should be fun. It should be fun. I do have other builds in mind for my Division 2 avatar character. I did make a negotiators build. I cannot wait to do a video on it. I think it slaps super hard. I love it so much. It makes the game so much more fun to play. Like for a while, I was only using the M1A1 little rifle, semi-auto rifle that does a hell of a lot of damage. Super good DPS, but it's so boring. So very, very boring. I mean, come on now. Come on. You can't sit here and try to argue with me that you like standing behind cover because you're weak AF. You can't take any shots because you got a glass build rocking. And you can't say that's fun. Like, it's hard to be like, yeah, I'm excited to play this game behind all this cover way back in the field, shooting bad guys, dealing hella damage. It's straight up not a good time. I was bored with it. I got bored with it, and obviously when you're bored with it, you try to find ways to make it more fun. And that's what I did with the negotiator build. And I'll do a video on it. It'll be good. It'll be great. It'll be grand. Sort of. It probably won't be that good, but yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It is very cheesy, though, especially in the dark zone, because you can mark an enemy player and then go and find an NPC and shoot at the NPC and kill the enemy player. It's definitely cheesy. They need to fix that. I would hopefully think they would fix that because whatever. But at the same time, it's fucking Division 2 PvP. Nobody in their right mind should care that much about it. I mean, come on now. It's a third-person shooter. Well, I guess Fortnite's pretty competitive and all that. But still, I don't think it's that big of a scene. Like, come on now. It's just, I don't know. I feel like the PvP in Division 2 just reminds me of Star Wars Battlefront 2. You know, you got that third-person view. You can see the enemy coming. You have a lot of different. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't see it as a big competitive game. Counter-Strike and Call of Duty, any of the big first-person shooter games. What is that new one? Valorant, Variant, whatever the hell that one's called. Obviously, those are going to be big and successful in first-person shooters and the esports scene, but not Division. Division 2 is not going to have that. Obviously, Fortnite's its own kind of league. Is PUBG in third person? It might be. I don't remember. But yeah, so it just, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a huge PvP scene in Division 2. So I don't see them really changing it a whole lot. Maybe nerfing it, which would be sad. But whatever, I'll just adapt and move on to something else, like what I almost had to do when they nerfed the M1A1. Oh, that was a sad day for a lot of people, myself included. It was like rest in peace, and then I had to go find some different weapon to try to use and craft a different build, which I have done 2 builds. 3 successful builds, put it that way. 3 successful build. Actually, 2 successful builds, 1 minorly successful. And that minorly successful is the blue build that I've done. I have Tardigrade, and if you don't know what that one is, I get health if my armor breaks, as well as my teammates if we are grouped up. We all get health. It's great. It's grand. It's fantastic. It's really good for PvP. And we had a great, speaking of that, we had a great time Saturday night. I grouped up with 3 other people, had a grand time in the Dark Zone. We just went around rogue for many minutes here. Many minutes. We got to manhunt level 65. We didn't cash it in, though. We didn't cash it in, and that is my biggest regret of that night. I wish we would have cashed it in, get the rewards. It's Division 2, so the rewards would have been very minor, not that big at all. But still, it would have been nice to cash it in and reap that benefit. But it's whatever. It was a lot of fun because a lot of people hate PvP, like hate the Dark Zone in Division 2. Be like, they don't want to do anything with the PvP at all. And I get why. Like, they just want to farm the equipment there, the loot there. They just want to farm that shit. And I don't. I agree with. I don't hate them for it, obviously, because I would do the same thing. But I hate the fact that it never works. But I hate the fact that Massive decided to do a free roam PvP area with loot that people want. Like, people want the loot that comes from the Dark Zone. Sometimes not very special at all. It's the same type of loot you can get out in the Light Zone. However, the argument I give is that it's much more efficient to farm in the Dark Zone than it is in the Light Zone. You go in the Light Zone, you're going to be doing missions over and over and over. And some of those missions can stack up quite a bit of time for loot that you can almost get in the Dark Zone for just doing a landmark, which might take you 5 minutes at the most, and then you just walk on over to another landmark to do, and you got yourself a good haul. I don't like. It never works. It never works. PvP free roam never works. Look at Grand Theft Auto Online. It's better now. Well, at least I'm pretty sure it's better now. Last time I played it, it was a lot better. But when that game first came out and online was going, holy shit, man. Holy shit, it was bad. People were just killing each other over and over, and just it was impossible to play because that's all people would do. And again, it is the game. It is the nature of the game to go around and kill. I wouldn't say the nature of the game, but you can go out and shoot at the pedestrians in the city in Los Santos. But obviously in online, you can do that to other players, and this is not as fun because you just want to play the online game. But part of the online game is to battle other players, but there's so much more to it, and obviously that's a little different from the Dark Zone. You're basically doing the same thing you would out in the Light Zone, but with other people that can shoot you and you can shoot back at them. So there is that. But most of the time, I said it before, I'll say it again. Most of the time, when I farm in the Dark Zone, I don't run into many problems at all. I do occasionally run into some people who go rogue when I'm just in the mood for some farming, and it's kind of annoying. Not a huge deal though. I'll just either find a different server, go to a different Dark Zone if it's loot that I need, or just go find a mission to farm. Like, it's not that huge of a deal. But yeah, I think if they ever do make a Division 3, which they will, they have to for a new generation of console here. They have to. I hope they don't, bring PvP back into the Dark Zone. It's not needed. I think there should be 2. I think someone said this. There should be 2 Dark Zones. One for PvE and one for PvP. Now, the PvE one could be a lot harder. Could be just a amped up version of the Light Zone, like almost heroic plus. Maybe not legendary status, but definitely a lot harder. That way, and again, the loot has to be good. Like, it has to be rewarding to go there, or else no one's really going to go there. And obviously, you have the PvP light or dark zone, which would be basically the same thing that it is now. easy landmarks, but you're going to have players who are going to be geared out to the max, which they are now. It is very hard to compete in the PvP scene, however minor that is, in Division 2, because there's quite a bit of people out there who have been playing this game for way longer than me, and they got their builds sorted out. A lot of god rolls, a lot of well-made, crafted builds, and like my little negotiator builds, as much as I love it, just doesn't really stack up a whole lot. Now, sometimes I can get a couple kills here and there, but it's not mainly by myself. It's mainly when I'm with other people. Then I can get some kills in because they could be distracted by one of my teammates, and I can come off the side and shoot them in the side, or shoot them as they're shooting my teammate, even though I'm like right next to them, whatever. Or it just, yeah. So it definitely it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. I don't know. I don't know. So I really do hope they fix the dark zone a little bit to make it less punishable for other people who don't want a PvP at all but want that sweet loot. They definitely need to do something. I don't know. Maybe they'll do nothing. They'll probably do nothing, as is in tradition here at Massive. They will probably do nothing at all. Which it's not like it's broken now. To be fair, it's not completely broken, but at the same time, a lot of people don't go in there because of the reason that, people like me who might just go rogue for the funsies and kill a bunch of people, or try to kill a bunch. I do realize that I'm not that good, so I might be more inconvenient than troublesome or worrisome or whatever. But yeah, people need to go in the dark zone more. People definitely need to go to the dark zone more because it's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. I think it's fine. Obviously, it could be better, but it's fine for now. Anyways, switching the subject here. The other day, I finished Waco on Netflix. It's not a Netflix original series. It's by Paramount Pictures or Television or something Paramount related. That show, holy shit. I knew about Waco a little bit, just a little bit. Didn't know that much about it. I knew it had something to do with a cult, and a lot of people died, but I didn't know how they died or how anything really played out. But Waco, wow. That left me very much emotionally devastated for the rest of the day. I didn't want to do anything. That TV series, limited series, whatever it's called, left me a little broken inside. I didn't understand. I don't say didn't understand. I didn't know what to expect when going into it. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I don't even remember the cult leader's name. I just kind of went in almost with no knowledge about the situation at all. And okay, from a critical standpoint here, the series was way too short. I didn't really understand a whole lot. To me, the cult leader, he seemed like an all right guy. I'm sure the TV series didn't want to, have that come off, but for the most part, it just felt like a church group, a very religious church group, very, very religious church group. A little bit of, what is that? Not polygamy or whatever it's called. Anyways, the dude has multiple wives and multiple kids, but, that's kind of weird. It's kind of not normal, kind of not right, but whatever. And then all of a sudden the ATF gets a little word that they have a lot of weapons in their little complex, which I guess was true. I imagine they found lots of metal barrels and gun frames after the fire, but they show up and there was a little gunfight, I guess you can say. But they weren't really doing anything a whole lot wrong. Come on now. There was no real evidence of, at least based on the show, from what I saw. I'm very ignorant in the subject. Let me be clear. Based on the show, they didn't have a lot of good, hard evidence that there was a ton of guns in this vault room. There just wasn't anything. And that was in the second episode. And after the second episode, there was a gunfight, and that's when, Waco begins, or whatever you want to call it. And it just went way too fast. Like, I need some more information about this cult. Like, why are they bad? I guess they did some illegal things with guns. That much is clear. But I didn't get anything else from it. Like, were they really that bad? Were they really just a terrible, terrible cult like the Jonestown people? Or what? What other cults are there? I guess Scientology is pretty bad too. Oh, there's that one cult in not India, that happened in Oregon. Oregon. That happened in Oregon. Is like the Indian tribe that came out. Not Indian tribe, but the Indian heritage, Indian culture took over some town in Oregon and really fucked up the place. Really fucked up and tried doing some very not moral or ethical things to the town nearby. But yeah, I didn't see that coming from this group. It wasn't that big of a group to begin with. He wasn't kidnapping people. For the most part, he recruited people to be in the complex, but they were able to go as they pleased. Like, he wasn't really holding them hostage, but I guess that's a whole ploy in these in cults like his. They say you're fine here, but you went into it. He says you're free to leave, but when you went into it, you basically have to cut off all ties everywhere else. So people can leave freely, but to go where? They had to cut ties with the outside world, basically. They don't have anything to really go to. So they stay. They're kind of forced to stay, but not really forced. Just they have nowhere to go, so they have to stay. It's almost like I don't even know what it's almost like. I was going to say I didn't want to go to a different TV show, but there is a TV show called Vikings that I recently started watching for the first time, and it's really good. And there's a priest that was captured, and he hates being a slave, so he sits down on the ground. And the owner, or the main character, Ragnock, whatever his name is, I can't pronounce it. He's like, fine. And he cuts off the rope. He's like, leave. But he was captured. This priest is from England, and they're not in England anymore. They're so far from England, so he has to go with him. I mean, that's the type of deal that I think that this cult had going for him, or this cult leader had going for him. He force these people to basically cut ties, not really force them, but if you're going to be in the group, you got to be 100% in the group. So obviously these people give 100% to the group and then cut off all ties everywhere else, and that's that. They have nothing else to really go back to. But overall, the show, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. Like, it really is fucked up as it was fucked up. Like, the ATF, FBI, not the nicest agencies in the world. And yeah, it definitely left me very much emotionally devastated. But I do wish it was a lot longer. It could have been multiple episodes. Could have been multiple, at least, I don't know. I don't want to say, I think it was six or so episodes long. I don't remember. It could have been something like that, but it could have been a lot longer. I could have used a little bit more background on Kresh. Yeah, that's his name, Kresh, the cult leader. Could have used a little more background information on him, because, again, he didn't come off like the worst guy. Okay, there was that marrying a 14-year-old, but still, under Texas law at the time, it's legal. Not saying it's right, but it's illegal. So he is following the law, morally wrong, but following the law, I guess is the argument there. But other than that, he wasn't really doing anything lawfully wrong, which would have caused the raid. Obviously, he was hiding weapons, but the ATF agent that was inside the complex, he didn't find any of the weapons. He was just scouting out, looking for them, but didn't find anything, didn't confirm anything. So there was no reason for the ATF to even plan a raid or even try to attempt to raid the complex. I know they had a search warrant, but not really a whole lot there. I don't know. It was crazy. It was just crazy. I think the FBI is definitely at fault. I don't know. I I don't think they would have set the building on fire. The Davidins, as they called themselves, I don't think they would have set themselves on fire. I don't think it was a mass suicide. I think it was just a very bad accident on the FBI's part. They used tear gas. Maybe they didn't know. That's stupid to even say, but I'm giving the benefit of doubt because I don't think the guy calling the shots would have pumped flammable gas into the building and have it caught on fire on purpose. That was not their intention, but that's the way it played out, unfortunately. Maybe, I mean, obviously they pumped it full of gas, and you know, there was a scene in the show where a lantern was on the ground and it lit the floor on fire because they cut the power to this complex. They cut the power. They had to get light somehow, so they had lanterns, and that's what they used. And obviously, maybe the lanterns and the fire on the floor had a big part in the fires being set. So, and it was just bad. It was so sad. It was very sad. A lot of little kids died for no real apparent reason that they did anything wrong. No reason to die the way they did. All that fucking tear gas for what? For what? I know a lot of ATF agents died or got injured, but still, it was just like, holy shit, was it really worth it? I don't think so. I don't think he was worth it. No. But I do highly recommend you watch the show. It's a really good show. It was a good watch. I do wish it was longer. It made me want to research more about it to understand it a little bit better. I might have to give another watch after, if I do actually look it up a little bit more, understand what was going on at the time, because I was at 93. I was like maybe a year old, maybe just a couple months at the time. I think it was like February, right? February or March. One of the two. It definitely, it was good. It was good. It had a lot of, and like the actors, it didn't make sense to me because there was Michael Shannon was in it, Tyler, whatever his name is, Krish. He was in it. He was in John Carter. He was also in what was that show? The detective show, True Detective. He was also in that. Friday Night Lights. I mean, there were some big actors in this show. So I was wondering if maybe they changed somehow along the way. Like maybe it was supposed to be a more production value in the show, and then, you know, something happened, but these actors were under contract, so they had to do it, and then it just became a very much TV type movie not documentary series, but limited series. Because, and again, it wasn't supposed to go to Netflix. It's just on Netflix now because there's spots for commercial breaks here. So I don't know if like they decided to make the show or try to make the show without really doing anything, like having a proper distribution of the show. They didn't have a network to really air it on. They just knew that it would sell, so they made it, and then Netflix got it. Obviously, it was supposed to be maybe more on like an actual network show or network station or whatever you want to call it, but it didn't end up being that way. And obviously, like most TV writers, there's a formula to it. There's a guide, I guess, if you can say, that they have to follow. And obviously they have to build in commercial breaks for other TV stations, networks. And Netflix ain't one of those. So you don't need to put in the commercials, but at the same time, they know they have to put in commercial breaks. So it was definitely odd seeing some of these big actors and whatnot in something like this, where it seemed like a lower budget production type of series, but obviously we got these big people in there. Don't know why, like fucking movie actors type status people. It just didn't quite make sense to me. Could be wrong. I could be just, you know, trying to think of something that's way out of left field for whatever reason. I don't know. But second hard turn to a different subject here. Sunday, I was washing dishes, and you know, something weird happened. Something came over me. I am pretty sure. No, I'm not pretty sure. It does feel like, you ever get the feeling you're living in a simulation, like of yourself? Like everything you do is already predetermined. And not even predetermined, but something you've already done. Not necessarily deja vu, but just something that, yeah, I've done this podcast before. Yeah, the next thought that's going to come in my mind was already there. I'm just doing it again because I'm in a simulation. So this is all predetermined. And what got me thinking that is I've survived a lot of crazy shit in this world. Like, I've survived a lot. Like, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's survivor's guilt necessarily, because there's been a lot. I haven't been very close in certain tragedies or certain events in this world that would warrant survivor's guilt, but I don't know. This pandemic that's going on right now, it's got me feeling weird because I'm still very much normal, I guess. Like, I see people losing their jobs or losing everything basically because of this pandemic, but me losing a job or getting sick, one of the two or both actually, and here I am still doing what I do. I haven't lost hours at work. I haven't lost anything at work. I work the same, but I'm not sick either. I go to the store every week. I wear a mask. I will be honest, I do wear a mask, but I'm still like not sick. It feels weird. Like, I'm not going to die in my own simulation. You know what I mean? So it feels weird it just feels like there's like, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like something bad should have happened to me. I don't know why. I don't want it, but at the same time, it's like a lot of other people are suffering. Why not me? Why am I still completely normal? Why am I untouched again by, I don't know, bad shit? And like, obviously thankful, but at the same time, I don't know. It just seems very weird. Like, it seems like this whole thing, this thing called life is a simulation of some sort. Like, I'm not really here, but I'm elsewhere. I'm not necessarily disconnected from the world, but I'm definitely not here. I don't know how else to explain it. It's definitely a weird feeling. Now, like I said, I was just washing dishes, and I was like, why am I doing this right now? Why? I don't enjoy it. I don't like doing it. It needs to be done, but why? Why do I do anything, really? Like, why do we do anything? Like, we have like this idea to do certain shit, but we really don't know why we do it. Like, oh my God, people on Facebook or in the Facebook comments on like a local TV networks, they are hammering them, not necessarily them, just vocalizing how annoyed they are that they don't have to go to whatever job it is. Now, to be fair, there's some of them probably like the work that they do, but I would guarantee a majority of them really don't like it. Really don't like it, but they don't have money to not, afford to stay away. But they want to go back. And it's almost like a sad state of affairs there. Because, there's some people that they hate their job, but they have to go back. Not even to go back, but going back during a time like this, it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it should be better in some sort of way, but it's not. It's not good. I think it's not good. This is what it is. This is what everything you've been working for, everything you worked for. I guess I'm talking to myself at this point, but everything I worked for prior to maybe a year or two ago, I forget when I started my job. It's for this. It's for this. It's for. I don't even know. This is it, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, there's got to be something more here. Like, there's got to be, right? I can't be the only one out there right now thinking that this is what it's for. This is what we're here for. To do not mindless stuff, but to do stuff it's not really that fucking important. Like, it's not that important. I mean, look at all the people that lost their jobs once the lockdown happened. Millions millions of people are out of work because their job isn't that important. Mine is not that important. I'll be honest, it's not that important, but yet I still work and it feels bad because I know people in my actual field who are losing work, who are losing their own business. But here I am like, hey, I'm not affected in any sort of way, and it fucking sucks feeling this way. Because I should be grateful and happy, but at the same time, it feels like, something bad should happen to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass here. It's just, I feel like something bad is gonna, like, maybe not this, but I don't know. Like, obviously people relate to karma as you do something bad happens to you, but maybe karma will come back for me and equalize this out here, because a lot of good fortune for me lately, but where's the other shoe, Am I going to lose my hair? Is that even fair to even say? Probably not. But I just don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I'm paranoid about it. Like, I feel like I should know what it is, because if we go back to the simulation idea, then I already know what it is, but I can't tell myself that, because then I'd be letting myself know I'm part of a simulation. That this is all the Matrix here. Like, everything I do, not even real. Nothing I do is real. Nothing I do actually has any consequence to it. It's just all, I don't know, fake, kind of. It's weird. Like, again, probably really fucking stupid to talk about, because probably not real. Probably living life the way it should be living, which is, I don't even know. But breathing, I guess, that's it. That's all we got going for us. Breathing and going to work for people who, I don't know, pretend we don't exist or something. Yeah. It's weird. It's definitely weird. Maybe I've been playing too many video games. I don't know. I like, it's not like something that's new that I've thought of, but like, again, I guess going back to the Waco thing, a lot of people died, but I didn't know them. Like, a lot of people are dying from coronavirus, but I don't know them. I've never seen them. I don't know anybody who has it. Why is that? I'm not saying it's a hoax. I'm not saying it's fake or anything, but I don't understand how I don't know anybody, like, at all. Maybe I should be thankful about that as well, which I probably am. I am. But at the same time, why? Like, why don't I know anybody? That's why I think I'm in some sort of weird thing here, because I don't know anybody who has it. Why would, and if I was in a simulation, I'm not going to program myself into thinking that I know people, or know people who've died from it, or know people that are diagnosed with it. Obviously, I'm not going to do that to myself. That seems like torturing myself. So I don't know anybody at all. It's definitely, it's that feel. If that's a feeling, it's a lot of words. It's a lot to take in, but that's what I think. I think that whatever is happening right now has already happened, or is just part of a game of some sort. I am free to do what I want, but at the same time, everything that's happening around me is already predetermined. It's like free will, but not really. That is what I think about when I wash my fucking dishes. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to end this little point here. There isn't really a point to really end on. I just kind of want to know, do y'all think about crazy shit like that? Like, things you don't have the free will. Like, everything you do is predetermined in some capacity. You don't really, there's no free will in the world. Nothing at all. Like, why do I do this podcast? Because I enjoy it. But what is the reason that I do it? There's a reason for it. There's got to be more than just enjoying it. I mean, I enjoy a lot of things, but I don't put this much time or effort into those things. I just enjoy them. But yeah, I don't know. This topic really got out of hand, didn't it? But yeah, it's been on my mind. I don't know why. Maybe Maybe it's just an existential crisis for this week. There will be another one next week, probably. I go through these all the time. Like, I'll be like, why am I here right now? What is the point? What is the meaning of life? And I still have yet to figure it out. I don't think anyone really has it figured out. We all follow something, though, whether it be a higher power that we believe in, a God, if you will, a God, or we just follow leadership, some sort of leadership, like a governmental leadership. We follow that. We follow our bosses. Maybe there's something there. It's all very weird to me. Like, why do we do this? Why? It's always on my mind. There's never an answer for it, unfortunately. I never figure out anything more than I knew yesterday. I just don't know. I just don't know. Anyways, guys. Yeah, so that sunk somewhere, maybe low. I don't know. That is going to do it for me for this podcast episode, or whatever you want to call it. It's mainly me talking out my ass, let's be honest. But I enjoy it. Like, again, I enjoy doing this. It's fun to do. It's fun just to talk about things that I like to talk about, things that I think about, and then listen back to it later. I'm like, wow, this is really cringy. But yeah, so hopefully I get my SSD drive in. Hopefully I can get a video out tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see. I definitely do a negotiator type video, or negotiators build video, because it's definitely a good gear set there to play with. It's definitely fun. Made my enjoyment for the Division that much more. Anyways, guys, if you don't know, you can catch me live right now at twitch.tv/deadlynutterbutter. Check me out. I am what I believe to be is a fun person, but who knows? You be the judge of that. Until next time, have a great week. May the 4th be with you and all that good stuff. See you later.